Hello viewers, in this video I am going to discuss a great literary giant we may say. Now I am not going to tell who is he. I'll give you his words. After listening to this, try to guess who is he. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Can you guess who is the writer? Okay, I think now some of you may have guessed. I'll give you one more quote. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. After hearing this quote, I think everyone have guessed who is the writer, because this quote is very familiar among the students of literature, English literature. Yes, you're right. The great literary giant I am going to discuss here is William Shakespeare. So many people have talked on Shakespeare and his works. Yeah, I agree. Here I am going to present Shakespeare and his works in my own way and from my own notes. We know that Shakespeare is well known for two types of genres in particular, that is poetry and drama. If we take poetry, means Shakespeare's non-dramatic poetry consists of two narrative poems. They are Venus and Adonis, Lucrece. The first one is Venus and Adonis. The next one is Lucrece. Classicism of age is marked in these both poems. Next, sonnets. Even a school-going kid may know at least one of his sonnets, because his sonnets are that much popular. He has written a sequence of 154 sonnets. Among that, first 126 sonnets addressed to a man. The next 28 sonnets addressed to a woman. These sonnets have given rise to endless discussion, and everything about them remains obscure. It is a record of disastrous love and broken friendship. But we cannot sure whether they deal with real or imaginary things. But they catch the place of the finest lyrical poetry of the time. Next, Shakespeare's dramatic work. It comprises of 37 plays. Though the authenticity of this is doubtful, his part in the dramas attributed to him was limited to the retouching of the older material. His activity as a writer for the stage extended over some 24 years, that is 1588 to 1612. First 12 years belonged to 16th century, that is Elizabethan period, and the second 12 years belonged to 17th century, James I also. Shakespeare's critics have agreed to subdivide these 24 years into four periods. They are 1588 to 93. It is noted for experimental work. And next year period 1594 to 1600. It is noted for great comedies and chronicle plays. The third period 1601 to 1608. It is noted for great tragedies and somber comedies. And the last period 1608 to 1612. Later comedies or dramatic romances. Now let me say something in detail regarding these four periods. The first period 1588 to 1593. As I have told earlier, it is noted for experimental work. The apprenticeship begins with the revision of old plays. We can see this in three parts of Henry VI and Titus Andronicus. Here we have comedies, his first comedies. They are Love's Labour's Last, Two Gentlemen of Verona, The Comedy of Errors, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Actually, these four comedies are the influence of Lyly. Next we have a chronicle drama, that is Richard III. It is reminiscent of Marlowe. Next we have a tragedy, a very famous tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. The works of this period is slight in texture. The treatment of life in it is superficial, and there is a little depth of that of characterization. But the technical features used in the language is outstanding, but the art is immature. Okay, now let me say something about the second period, that is 1594 to 1600. It is noted for great comedies and chronicle plays. The plays belong to this period are Richard II, King John, The Merchant of Venice, Henry IV, parts 1 and 2, Henry V, The Taming of the Shrew, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, and in this period, his works become independent. There is an immense development in power and technique, characterization, humor, thought become deep and have great growth. Okay, the next period 1601 to 1608. It is known for great tragedies and somber comedies. In this period, his dramatic power, intellectual power, and his power of expression are at their highest. This is the time of his supreme masterpiece, but there is extraordinary change in the entire spirit of his work. His writing shows the darker side of human experience and sins and weakness of men. Even in his comedies, the tone is either grave or fierce at this period. The plays belong to this period are Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, Antony and Cleopatra, All's Well That Ends Well, Measure for Measure, Troilus and Cressida, Coriolanus, The Timon of Athens. Among this, All's Well That Ends Well and Measure for Measure, these two are dark comedies. And here I want to mention one important question, the frequently asked question, that is the four major tragedies of Shakespeare. They are Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth. The last period, 1608 to 1612. It is meant for later comedies or dramatic romances. We can see a sudden change in the temper of Shakespeare's work in this period. It is as if the heavy clouds which had long hung over the fictitious world of his imagination now roll away, and the sky grows clear toward sunset. Decline takes place in his dramatic past. They are often careless in construction and unsatisfactory in characterization, but in style and versification, they will not bear comparison with the work of the preceding 10 years. The works belong to this period are Cymbeline, The Tempest, The Winter's Tale. Here we have another two works which were completed partly by Shakespeare. Those works are Pericles and Henry VIII. These two were completed at last by his younger contemporary and friend John Fletcher. Hope you have enjoyed and helpful regarding Shakespeare. If you so, subscribe our channel. Thank you. Love literature.